The big game calls for a big sandwich. Let's check it out. All right, welcome everybody to the first episode of Desperately Seeking Sandwiches. I am your host, Kellen Hoskins, and what we are doing here today kind of is a part of a long-standing family tradition that we have in my household, where every Sunday after church, we'll go to the deli and we'll pick out meat and bread, and that's kind of our Sunday lunch tradition. We call it Sunday sandwiches. Go figure. So, I've been posting the photos of the sandwiches for a long time. Thought it might be fun to take a stab at making a video out of it and see where that leads us. So if you like it, there will be a YouTube channel coming up very soon. So I'll post that on there as well. So if you're watching this when it's on the YouTube channel, well, congratulations. You've made it to the YouTube channel. Anyway, let's get into it. So this is basically going to be just a very large rendition of a sandwich that I call the usual. It's one of my favorites. It is turkey, roast beef, and then all the trimmings. Now, because I'm making this one for a crowd, I'm not going to dress the big one, but I am going to make a smaller version, kind of show you how I would put it together if I was putting it together. So, all that being said, let's get into the assembly phase. So, we've got, what I did is I grabbed a loaf of take and bake French bread. So, you might even be able to see some steam coming off of it in the camera. So this just came out of the oven and is ready to go, and we are going to start to build. So what I've got, again, on all of this is from Boar's Head, so I've got some really nice oven roasted turkey and some nice roast beef, and we're going to put all of this together. I like to lay my foundation of turkey, and again, this is going to be feeding a few people during the game, so now is not the time to skimp on your ingredients. Get a nice hefty layer of turkey down, and now we just layer on the roast beef. This one's pretty simple, but I wanted to start off with one of my favorite sandwiches, and that's really what we're going to explore on this channel is the pursuit, the unending pursuit of the perfect sandwich. So this one, again, is just one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos. If I were to go to a new sandwich shop, for example, I would probably start with something like this, just to test the quality of their meats, their breads, their cheeses. So now that we have our foundation, again, we've got probably, on this sandwich here, we've probably got about a ½ pound of turkey and a ½ pound of roast beef. You want to make it look pretty as well. That's why I have it kind of crumpled up on top as opposed to just laying it flat. Now, granted, if you were trying to have a Super Bowl party, big game party, sorry NFL, I didn't mean to use your licensed content without your permission. If you were having a big game party, and you could certainly go to your local grocery store and purchase this sandwich almost pre-made, but you don't hate your family and your friends, right? Because those things are kind of nasty. The meat and the tomatoes have been sitting on the bread for hours. Usually has some of that beautiful plastic American cheese on there. The lettuce is pretty wilted and not very attractive looking. So it's worth it to spend a little bit more, take a little bit more time, and feed the people that you care about something way, way better. Anyway, getting back into it. So now we've got our meats on there. I like to layer some nice tomato. With this sandwich, I like to use provolone cheese. So we're going to layer that on here. And as you can see, it's starting to look pretty amazing. Now, the last step is to layer some nice lettuce on this bad boy. Again, I firmly believe that presentation matters. So again, making it look good, we eat with our eyes first, so making it look good is just part of the equation. So now that we've got our lettuce layer down, this thing would make any cartoon character proud, I think. This one's for you, Scooby and Shaggy, if I can get the lettuce to play nicely. And then simply take the top, place it back on. Now, if you, depending on how you slice it, this can feed probably anywhere between 3 and 5 people. I've got another one sitting ready to be made that I'm going to put together for the game, but this is only half done because it's not dressed, right? The dressings matter just as much as the fillings in making a good final finished product. So I'm going to move this guy over to the side, and we're going to get into some accoutrement, as you would. So I've got a nice roll here. Again, same steps, but before we go, for this sandwich, one of my favorite ways to dress it is I make a horseradish mayonnaise. The easiest way to put this together is going to be to take some mayo. You can either make it yourself, or store-bought works just fine. And then I mix it with a horseradish sauce. So think of like the horsey sauce you might get at a place like Arby's. And to me, that is just, especially with the roast beef, it really gives it a nice, just a tiny little bite. You want to probably do, I do about a 4-to-1 mayonnaise to horseradish sauce ratio to make this sauce that I put on this sandwich. So put it there. Let's get some meats down. Went backwards that time. Put the roast beef down. There's really, to be honest, no wrong or right way to do that. So then we'll layer some tomato, a couple of slices of smoked provolone, a little bit of lettuce on here. And then to top it, what I like to do is take a little bit of stone ground mustard and just give it a little hit there. And again, just adds a whole extra layer of flavor. So there you have it. This is, again, I call it the usual because it is my usual. It's my favorite. Check that bad boy out. Let's take a bite, see how it is. Good balance of flavor. Nothing's overpowering anything else. You can taste the lettuce, the tomato. You can taste the roast beef. You can taste the turkey. All of the sauces and dressings just help to complement that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, just a little bit of a more in-depth look to a family tradition that I wanted to share with you all. Anyway, have an awesome day. Go sports ball. Have a good time. Be safe this evening if you are watching this on the day of the big game. And I will see you next time.